Okay, welcome guys. One of my biggest days to date. My new 4 Take Profit Pro accounts. Got these this morning, and you can see we just had an absolute monster day. So I'm going to try and keep this fairly short, but at the same time, I'm going to try and break down as much as I can in terms of why I took what I took and just the incredible day that we're in. I've also got 2 evaluation accounts. One that's very close to the past target of 9,000, so 150 you start with and 9,000 you have to get to, so very close to getting to that. Then the other one obviously is about 4 to 5k away from that, so in fact 5,000 away from that. So these were the trades I took, and there's quite a few of them going in and out just purely because with the trading drawdown being a factor on the Take Profit Pro accounts, I wanted to pay myself and then also get back into the trade just so I can continue to scale the account, but at the same time still taking a payout or still taking profit in the account, so the trading drawdown isn't affecting me as much, as opposed to holding for big home runs but then it coming back down and then affecting your trading drawdown. So I tried to take profits, scale back in, etc. So you'll see, like here for example, I'm buying, I'm then selling, I'm then buying, and then I'm selling, and then I'm buying back in, I'm selling at highs, I'm buying back in. So that's kind of why there are so many targets and why there's so many entries on here. And as you can see, I left a lot on the table. I pretty much broke this whole move down this morning on the morning live stream, and an incredible day. So these were the trades that I took in terms of the reason why. And if we just zoom out, so we'll start on the daily just to kind of show you. So on the daily, we came down to the area that we've been wanting to see for a while, which is the BX was green when we traded this halfway back when Trump tweeted back in here, and we went all the way into extensions, and we traded a high to high on the 23rd of May. That went all the way to its negative 62, and we eventually traded the high to high again today on the 50 on Friday. And if we go down to the half an hour time frame, you can see we double bottomed. So this is a 1 2 3 on the low, so one low, one low, 2 lows, and third low. That is the halfway back. The BX turned green on the half an hour. We traded a traditional on the open, which I didn't trade on the futures open at 6 p.m. We then traded, that went all the way to its targets. So you can see that traded down here. So you can see that traded down here. Again, you're above my trend line. You're above the overnight midpoint. You're in the BX daily green bullish momentum. And we have magnitude all the way up into our daily ATR high on the day, which at the time was 23,085. So when we were all the way back down here, when I come to my screen, obviously I'm not trading any of this. I'm in UK, so I didn't trade any of this because I'm asleep. But once we do actually when I do wake up and I do see the trend, what we do is we ended up trading a high to high. So I used that extension from Friday close, and that is pretty much what gave me. In fact, it was, we go down to the lower time frame. It was this draw here, and this is the exact low. So you can see once we come down to that target, we are green on the BX, and on the hourly and the 4 hour and the half an hour, we are all green. So the momentum is there. Again, we're above my trend indicator, we're above the overnight midpoint, and we have bullish momentum, which was the previous day highs from Friday above. So we had that momentum there, and if I just turn this off, you'll see Friday's highs, we had that as magnitude. That got taken out, and this was my ATR high on the day, and you'll see my targets at that 105s was pretty much trying to take off on these extensions here. So if I just take some of these off for a second, you'll be able to see that was the one time framing from the open. So you'll see this was that traditional that went all the way to its 115s. That was the target on the open. So that was a full negative 100 from this low to high. Again, above trend, above momentum. BX is green on the hourly. And once that extension did trade, you can see those targets again, pretty much that negative 100, 145s. But my target was 106s, just under 105s is where I took off. And that was at that negative 62. And you can see on the open, we had a 3-bar ATR on the open, so you can see these are free ATR bars. They are trading 2 times average volume. So you can see this is one time frame into the upside. So you have a low, and then you have your higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Finally breaks it, accumulation of potential longs again, and now we are again in that higher low formation. Now, I'm not doing anything in this range, just purely I told the members live, broke this all down live on Discord this morning, and also on the free live stream on YouTube. I'd already obviously made my money at 105s, obviously left a lot on the table here, and there wasn't really any clean extensions above, apart from just following the trend, that being the trend indicators and also the one time framing to the upside, and of course being above previous day highs. So you can see at the time, those Friday's highs were right down there at 95s. So when I was targeting 106s, I was pretty much just targeting above Friday's highs. And obviously you can see we have now been bullish above that level. And so far from the open, you can see we are above 167 points. On the RTH session, you can see we traded 175 points, which is over here, 175. You can see we've traded 175, and on the ETH we traded 442 points. So you can see down here 442 points from the 6 p.m. open, which is 166% of the range on the ETH session. So you can see if we take pretty much the low of today from the open down here at 6 p.m. to the high, you can see we traded 442 points, .50, which is exactly what that's showing us. So you can see we're above 100, basically 165% above the average true range on the day. It's showing 265 because obviously 100% is the average range, and then that 165 is the extra. So you can see down here where our ATR highs were, you can see we are pretty much came right to that 62, and that is literally where the high has formed so far, and that's why I drew this box here. This box was pretty much drawing the 62 and the negative 100 of the daily ATR range. You can see that is pretty much where we have got stuck, exactly to that level, once, twice, and so far we've obviously taken out trend in terms of the one time frame to the upside, but I wouldn't short any of this move down. I would just wait for, if we do get a pullback, brilliant. The only thing I'd really be looking for is potentially a high to high formation in here, but the only problem with this, as I just explained to the members, you'd be going long at trend, but at that point in time, it's probably the trend might be over, just purely because you're still above ATRs on the day, and that trend is so close to potentially breaking and then going sitting on hands. So it's a very tricky one. I think I'm probably just going to get done on the day. Just to show my trade, you can see here 40k, 10k on each 4 of the accounts, and I can take out pretty much anything above the buffer, which is $4,500. So 5,500 on each of the 4 accounts, which is like 22k, but they do take 20% of the profit split. So I can only take out 80%, which I think is about $17,600. Which will then obviously put me down to 4,500. Then I'll try and build those back up again to try and do the rinse and repeat. So that was the trade breakdown. They were the trade entries and exits. I will put a sped up recording of my actual trades, live footage of me in the trade. So if you do want to see that, it will be muted, just because it will be sped up, and you'll hear me talk really fast. But you'll be able to see me actually take the trades, and obviously it'll just be sped up, and there won't be any volume on there. But if you are interested in actually watching me trade live, this was actually done pre-market. But if you are wanting to watch me trade live on stream, you can join the link in the description. So yeah, without further ado, that is pretty much the end of the video, and I will see you all in the next video. Okay, so I just realized the actual video is quite long, so I've got to speed it up. And even at like 3 hours sped up into 16, it's still quite long. So I'm going to add this video as a separate video on the YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the actual trades live, click the link in the description. You'll be able to see that YouTube video uploaded.